What is up everyone, Barricade here and bringing you guys a quick Gears of War 4 update video. Just wanted to talk about the Swarm and the Juvies and actually one enemy that was mentioned in a Game Informer discussion video called the Snatchers. They sound very interesting and I'm going to go more in discussion regarding them specifically. Before I do that though, I want to just say real quick that this gameplay is an old gameplay I recorded a while back. So I do apologize, all my gameplays lately have just been old stuff I stored on my computer. So I will start recording more gameplay in the future. So just bear with me if you see a gameplay that I already used before. But anyways, the thing I wanted to talk about the Swarm is obviously they look locust-like. That's obviously a given. They look like locusts. They hold snipers. They hold hammer bursts. They even look, they have the same scale and everything, except they just look more deformed. The thing that I really want to discuss is obviously they originate from the locust in some sense, in some form. One thing I really wanted to discuss specifically is this one statement in the Game Informer magazine that I bought and read, is that they show right here that it stated that pretty much the first form of them is the Juvie, obviously the skinny, pale, squishy looking version of the Swarm. And pretty much what the article stated is, given enough time, a Juvie might eventually evolve into something meatier. As a Juvie ages, its skin hardens and takes on a deep red, and it eventually learns how to use weapons. This enemy type is called the drone, named in homage to its doppelganger in the Locust army. Drones are Gears of War 4's main mirror enemy and will likely be the primary enemy type in the Swarm. So pretty much saying that they, are similar to the humans. They walk around, hold guns, and things like that. So the thing that was interesting is that, so first they start off as a Juvie, obviously the, white form, and then as time passes, they evolve into a drone. So the thing that I really wanted to talk about, and goes hand in hand with that new enemy I just mentioned earlier called the Snatcher, is there's this new enemy that, well, we haven't seen them yet. They haven't been shown an image of yet. The Game Informer discussion video stated that there's a new enemy called the Snatcher. Looks almost like a praying mantis or like an insect, and they kidnap people. They kidnap people for whichever reason has yet to be stated. So what my theory is that, simply put, one thing I want to state first is that after Gears of War 3, after all the locusts died, there is massive burial grounds for the locust bodies because there's too many locusts just lying around. Their bodies didn't disappear after the motion weapon went off, so there's literally just mountains of dead bodies of locusts just chilling. So they had to basically bury them. So there's massive burial grounds for the locusts, and what I'm thinking is that since they are locust-like, and that these Snatchers kidnap people, what I'm thinking is that these Snatcher enemies have to have some connection with the Juvies, with the Swarm in general, because they're the one enemy that's yet to be mentioned that's extremely different, completely different from that of the Swarm that we've seen so far as the Juvies and drones, and the Pouncers that we saw in Gears 4's presentation at E3. And they're a lot different because of the fact that they're insect-like. They don't look like normal enemies. And while we haven't seen them yet, the fact that they just kidnap people and everything kind of gives me a weird little idea theory in my mind. So what I'm thinking is that this new Snatcher enemies, the reason why they kidnap people is because they probably turn people into Juvies. They probably kidnap them, throw them in pods, and create this new enemy. Similar to that of like Alien with the Xenomorph, where they kidnap people, put the eggs in the body, and then the creature comes out of their chest. Well, it isn't exactly the same thing. Obviously they don't put anything in people. It seems more like they're just turning people. That's what it sounds like to me. Some kind of weird creature-like thing that's taking people, taking bodies, and basically turning them into something else. And since there's so much locust bodies just laying around everywhere, what's stopping these Snatcher enemies from digging them up, taking the bodies, throwing them into a pod, and creating a Juvie? So that's actually one thing that was really interesting that I really wanted to point out, because the thing that's really interesting is it's not necessarily like a virus or like like zombies or anything like that. That's not what this is. This is some type of other parasite that's taking, bodies and turning them into new enemies to basically spread kind of like a new race of beings across the planet. So that's kind of weird and kind of freaky, and then it kind of gives you a sense of, what if something happens to one of the characters? What if the Snatcher snatches up someone, really cool character that you like, and later on in the game we find this poor person stuck in a pod and we have to kill him because he turned into a Juvie or something. So it's just kind of like a weird, crazy thought, to really think about, because the thing that runs in my mind is, so if these creatures are doing what I think they're doing, what I'm theorizing, is why weren't these things around during the human locust war? Where were these Snatchers? Where was the Juvies? Where were these creatures, and why didn't they exist when a normal locust was dead? A normal locust was killed and there was a dead locust on the ground. This is pretty much my theory. What I think is, if this is the case, that these Snatchers are taking bodies and turning them into Juvies and things like that, is what I believe the reason why they weren't around until just recently, 25 years after, Gears 3, is because of the fact that what if the emulsion is what kept them at bay? What if these Snatchers, these creatures, lived in a deeper part of the planet, and pretty much the layers and layers of emulsion was what kept them down there and kept them away from the locusts, which kept them away from us, the humans. So what if pretty much after Adam Phoenix's machine went off, destroyed all the emulsion, destroyed all the lambent and all of that, the emulsion that was there is just pretty much useless at that point. It pretty much either evaporates or turns into a pretty much like a water-like substance that doesn't do no harm. At that point, these new creatures can simply rise up from underground and basically do what they want, and they just had a huge supply of dead bodies to simply turn into the new enemies. So that's pretty much my theory. That's just one thing I really wanted to talk about. Juvies evolve into drones. That's just one thing. And then there's these new enemies called Snatchers that kidnap people, and most likely probably take dead bodies of locusts. So that's just one thing I really want to talk about. If you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about my theory. If you think I'm accurate or if you think I'm way off, go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching guys.